airplane today.
Yeah, hi. I've got a DoorDash order for Alexis.
Go ahead and pull around.
All right, thank you.
The gray things.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Good, all right.
So DoorDash, can you just confirm it for me?
Yes. It's Alexis B.
Yep, you just gotta hit confirm.
Oh, I got you.
There you go.
Thank you.
You have a nice day.
You too.
Our great detective.
The first issue is the defendant, or the compost characterization of the state of defense, they state the defendant committed a double homicide. No, that has not been determined, and that is a crucial issue because the Commonwealth, time and time again, is coming to this court acting as if trial has either already happened or we're at sentencing or some other stage. That has not been determined yet. Trial has not been determined. That has not been determined what? Specific intent murder where there is functioning cash givers off their clear. seconds, Miss Fontaine can be seen yelling, saying, quote, "No, Empress is in the car." There's no audio on this camera. This is merely Kamala looking and making a guess. Again, they're not offering an expert who reads, who can read lips. They're just guessing at this point. They state in the facts on page 4 that allegedly the defendant was, quote, "calmly ignoring, pressing his tongue," etc., etc. These are mischaracterizations. The evidence speaks for itself, and I'll profit on that we may provide an expert at trial that will not just to clients' facial expressions and actions being consistent with someone, but also his driving in that moment being absolutely consistent with somebody he's not a race car driver, he's not a professional car driver, he's just a normal guy driving his car, finding himself between a rock and a hard place. And that in those moments, people sometimes make split-second decisions that can turn catastrophic without any kind of specific intent. To page 5 earlier, this is the last point about the facts that I mentioned. They talk about the electronic data recorder. Again, this information is completely irrelevant in this case because the question is not about what happened. We know what happened. The question is about the intent of the client, and nothing about any of this information is inconsistent with an individual who was made a panic decision because he realized he had basically nowhere to go, and anywhere he didn't go was a problem. None of these offers about the electronic data recorder conflict with that. Exactly. And I'll emphasize, and that's just one factor. That's one factor. It's essentially almost the entire factor of the turning to page 6 here. Again, they comment based on characterizations focusing on the way the evidence such as deliberate and calculated actions, intentionally stealing, aggressive and violent conduct. We object to all these characterizations. On page 6, essentially show what they're doing in these arguments, which is that they're not actually focused or concerned about the two factors. They're really just focused on the fact that they think they can get a conviction. Because they think they can get a conviction, you should hold that flag. One of the ways that we get arguments in front of page 6 is that essentially anything less than holding that would fail to ensure justice for the victims. That's not the issue. The issue is fight with the serious violence. Moving to page 7, finally, the couple decides to focus on the protections of the factors. And what they do is they talk about generally violent behavior, allegedly violent behavior. They see toward violent behavior and then complicates something quote his history of violence. Again, bottom page 7. History. Your Honor, no prior convictions. And the factors specifically state, when we look at prior convictions, there are no prior convictions here. Their allegations about this allegedly quote-unquote violent behavior are based on accusations which were then dismissed by the government. So they were accusations where at some point in the past the government looked at it and said, I don't know if we necessarily have the evidence to this here. Further, it's hearsay within hearsay. Reading the police reports, which is hearsay, and the police reports is hearsay, which is also so it's hearsay within hearsay, and it's not even a conclusion about how it works. Even if it's any factors, the way that it's just then they talk about moving to page 8. They begin to make proffers about what some of the children of the deceased may testify to.
This is what was missing from the previous hearing. A conclusion was made about overacts when he's allegedly done use the car to attend him before. It was a conclusion that I didn't flesh it out with anyone else in terms of the actual facts. Conclusion of facts. We didn't have the facts.
And Apple gets that before we focus probably issues. They want to proffer, but these individuals may say, okay, if the court wants to overrule objection to this proffer, potentially children of the deceased comes into the room where my client is being changed, and they start play fighting and laughing, doing karate chops, and just it's typical, children, adult, playful situations. It's completely inconsistent with the picture the couple is trying to paint for these proffers that these children are terrified of this situation. I have videos where that directly contradicts that. Further, they go on to talk about proffers that they would like to make regarding alleged reckless or intimidating driving in the past. Again, as Ron pointed out, much of this is actually just conclusory language. If individuals were to come in here and testify and specifically say, this individual, sped up to this speed and moved to this lane, etc., then we could have addressed that if they came. But instead, we have the Commonwealth just coming in here and saying, he's driven recklessly and he's intimidating individuals. Conclusory language without individual cross. Further, there was a witness. The only witness that came in here and testified under oath without my client's driving. And he testified he's never witnessed anything of the sort. He's testified that he's seen my client drive individuals including his family not real. And he's testified I've seen my client drive his face, his children, his own children. He's never had any concern about it whatsoever. Moving to page 9. The Commonwealth then wants to focus on, again, going back to not talking about convictions. We're talking about allegations that were eventually replicated. They bring up a specific quote-unquote victim, Christina, and they talk about how this is evidence that my client is dangerous, etc. She's right here, and she is sitting with the family of my client, and I've spoken, and she disputes these representations. And while we're on this topic about this issue of proffers that I just demonstrated, in this very case already, the Commonwealth previously called a motion that somebody would come in and testify that my client's brother or family member purchased a weapon. And that stood in that motion for many times. The Commonwealth eventually learned, you know what, that actually turns out not to be accurate. And thank for that appreciate Commonwealth standard. They corrected that. The problem though is that demonstrates exactly the issues of proffers. You have statements in the motion, hearsay with hearsay, and then it turns out this person actually shows up and tells us something. We've already seen the now, starting on page 10, at this point, the Commonwealth begins to just desperate attempt to try to find something actually to defend this alleged dangerous. We start focusing on allegations from years ago that Tim's convictions had nothing to do with anything necessarily driving a car, just general allegations of and they start to bring in these reports and talk about the defendant was harassing and again, these are hearsay, and it's allegations of 10% convictions have nothing to do with substance in this case, and they were eventually all lost. Section 2. This point, the Commonwealth starts discussing my client's behavior of religion and his tensions and his supporters his betrayal and unreasonable dangerous facts of Number 1, the defendant intentionally caused God to come out of his sin. Number 2, malicious use of humanity. This is what we have. This is what the government is pleading to by this point. That somehow my client shouldn't be released to the community. And he's an unreasonable danger because he allegedly intentionally caused water to come out of the sun. These are absolutely at this point just desperate tactics to keep its laws in my client because at the end of the day, they don't want to see somebody that they've charged to be released. Finally, number 3, subsection 3 on page 12. Government starts talking about again.
An electronically controlled.
And they say, well, with such compelling evidence at hand, there is a high likelihood of successful prosecution. In the next paragraph, we use the quote, overwhelming evidence. This is absolutely absurd. First of all, the government continues to focus on this case as if it's a question about whether or not a car accident occurred. This is not a case of where my client is charged with speeding. It's not a case where he's charged with reckless driving. It's not a case where he's charged with causing an accident. This is a case solely about what was in my client's mind. It's not about what happened in the accident. It's about what was in his mind. The government knows that it has compelling evidence, overwhelming evidence, that they know what was going on in my client's mind. Why? Because he was in a car accident, and because a few minutes before the accident, it looked like he was having an incredibly minor disagreement, like we talked about previously. If getting into an argument and then having a car accident after the argument has been solved, if that wasn't overwhelming and compelling evidence of murder, then half of the car accidents in this country, you would have overwhelming and compelling evidence of murder, because those kind of minor disagreements between people in a relationship, you look to your left, you look to your right at the stoplight, you're bound to see it at any driving test. It's an absurd argument. Subsection 4, Your Honor, page 12, we talk about obstructing justice. So finally, they stop there, the sole focus on getting the evidence and the obstruction of justice. Karen Burr, at the last hearing, going from Commonwealth and going to justice. They argue that my client was evidence of obstruct justice because his family member, my client, but his family member touched a prosecutor. That's the kind of arguments that they're getting. Completely outrageous things arguments, and essentially what they argue is that the fact that my client has a love for his family, a connection to his family, a family that will support him, and a family that he stays in touch with, that's evidence that he's going to obstruct justice. And they try to argue the fact that he has strong family ties, which almost always is plausible, that he is not likely to have. They argue nonsense in the end of completely touch. Yeah, this is evidence that will obstruct justice. And this is evidence that he might take off. It's not laughable. They say, defendants are in communication with various family members from jail raises red flags. What are we talking about? An inmate can't have ongoing communications with family members without raising red flags. This is America. He can talk to his family. But that's where we're at in this case, and that's the length the Commonwealth will go to try to demonstrate obstruction of justice. At the end, Your Honor, in the conclusion, page 14, they basically offer a conclusion, 5 allegations. They say it's history of violence, nature and circumstance of the offense, strength of the case, likelihood of obstruction, and family ties. Your Honor, none of these conclusions, when you actually dive into them and examine them, provide any support at all to what the government is saying.
That's correct, Your Honor. Just to start off, I would move to enter the entirety of the vital evidence at this time.
I think it's appropriate to only admit it, but I'm only going to consider the statement of the case, statement of facts, as opposed to as evidence. Certainly some precedent for me leading in appropriate argument.
Yes, sir. To start off,
Yeah, I've got a DoorDash order for Brett C. All right, thank you.
that are essentially on the Commonwealth side of this case. Specifically, I'll start off with the first one, the nature and circumstances of this case. This is a charged double homicide. This is not a reckless driving case. It's not charged as reckless driving. It's not a manslaughter case. In fact, the Commonwealth actually null-crossed the manslaughter charges in lower court and indicted on higher charges of murder, because that is what the government's theory on what the case will show. The nature of the circumstances should weigh heavily. These are two homicide charges. This is no different from homicide charges where you have an individual shooting and killing two people. That is the government's theory, and that is what the Commonwealth will stand by. Now, the weight of the evidence, there is a number of factors, Your Honor, including crash scene evidence, and I have a witness that I would like to have testify in regards to that crash scene evidence. I'm an investigator with the crash unit. The weight of the evidence, crash scene.
You want to testify, it's up to you, it's your case.
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to proffer and argue and then have it testified. Now,
Is he in the courtroom?
yes, sir.
I'm gonna ask him to step out. We'll get back to his
The weight of the evidence includes not only crash scene data, but the crime scene, essentially. The Commonwealth believes this is a crime scene. It's not just a crash scene. The bystanders, including an off-duty officer from the DC Metropolitan Police Department, and other individuals that were on this road during rush hour traffic, who will state that the vehicle the defendant was driving just all of a sudden started veering into the left and into oncoming traffic. Now, counsel proffers a lot about what the defendant was intending to do, including that he was trying to pass a vehicle on his right. If the court watches that, which I intend to play against the court, there is no evidence of that. And again, there's the bystanders and the witnesses on the scene will not say it looked like he was trying to pass the car next to him. The EDR data also does not indicate that. It corroborates the government or the Commonwealth's theory of what happened in this case. The defendant intentionally steered his vehicle to use it as a weapon to kill these two people, individuals in the vehicle. Now, counsel points out that the defendant has no record of convictions, and I believe the court discussed this last week. I want to point out to the court, under 19-120, the factors include his record of convictions and the history of the accused. So the court shall consider that. History is everything in his past conduct. And that is exactly why the court can consider his past conduct with this victim and her children, past conduct with different domestic partners, and past conduct within the community as well. Specifically, this defendant cannot...
Hi, how are you? I've got a DoorDash order for Brett C.
He was out on pretrial bond on a domestic assault and battery and a protective order violation against the individual
Thank you.
who's actually in the
Have a good
courtroom
night.
today, as a supporter when he was charged with the two charges in this case. They were only dissolved or no-crossed 2 days after. So he was on pretrial good behavior, which he did not abide by. Additionally, Your Honor, the police reports that the Commonwealth has provided to the court from staff of the County Sheriff's Office, I think showed an extreme and interesting and concerning behavior on behalf of the defendant. the 2018 matter. Now, defendant's brother testified before his last time indicating that he would reside at the Stafford County address. Now, another police report that the Commonwealth has obtained from Stafford County shows that the sheriff's office was actually dispatched to that location, to that residence, for a mob assault and battery. A tow truck driver had intended to repossess a vehicle of one of the defendant's brothers. Now, based on, and this is in the report as well, according to the tow truck driver, the individuals in this mob, which included 3 people, they are identified to be this defendant and his 2 brothers, were producing tasers, and this defendant specifically is the one who grabbed, assaulted the tow truck driver, and pulled him, basically pushed him away. This pattern of behavior, Your Honor, going from back from 2018, which is the history of this defendant, the court must consider under 19-2-120, going all the way up to present day, the facts that the Commonwealth has offered within the pleading, what the children knows. Commonwealth office, not me, but an individual who had been helping me on this case. These are specific recounts of these children about being in the people with this defendant and experiencing these events. Specifically, I want to draw the court's attention to the incident where EMF, the initials for the juvenile, he recalls being in the vehicle with the defendant and Miss Fontaine, the deceased victim, who was in the front passenger seat. There were other children within the vehicle, and the defendant darted into another lane. It was a 2-lane road. He darted into oncoming traffic in the other lane, and then with oncoming traffic approaching, and then started laughing about this maneuver. Miss Fontaine was upset and told him not to do that. As her car's approaching and head on, essentially. Now, Your Honor, I would have to look at my records. He is, I believe, over the age of 10. But I would have to verify that, Your Honor. Now, this child, and it means that this defendant did this multiple times, darting into oncoming traffic and then darting back into his lane of travel. This is a pattern of behavior with this defendant. Not only with other children, but also Miss Fontaine, who he ended up murdering on April 5th, 2023. Additionally, Your Honor, this is not a trial. We're not here to try the case. Counsel will get an opportunity to cross-examine these children who do not live in the state, Your Honor. After this proceeding actually in that state, they will be here and counsel will have an opportunity to cross-examine. This is not a trial. This is a pre-trial hearing of bail. The standard at this juncture is whether the court finds probable cause to determine whether the defendant is a flight risk or a danger to himself, a household member, or the community. This is not some time period for children to be recalling, recounting such instances of the defendant using his vehicle as a weapon.
Deputy, would you tell folks that are waiting for the 10:30 docket that it's going to be at least another half hour? It started, I will, be longer than that, I wish I could
Now, all of this corroborates and defendant's own words that support her there was some sort of argument leading up to the crash, the homicide. In fact, one of Miss Fontaine had reported to one of her children that the defendant had urinated on her back while she was in the shower prior to this crash. Now, on jail calls, the defendant has discussed this very instance. He has said, I would never do that. And then at a later jail call, sometime later, he says, oh yeah, it was a joke. I did that as a joke. So he's even admitting to these instances of abuse, not outrightly, but is making excuses as to why they occurred. Now, another individual who is Ms. Fontaine's neighbor will also confirm that she was told about this
Yeah, hello?
urination on her back prior to the vehicle crash.
Hey, our system is down at the moment. I cannot help you at the moment.
No, I'm just picking up a DoorDash order for
I know,
Razan.
system is down. I cannot make the food at the moment. That's
That
why.
has nothing to do with
System is
his
down.
repeated
Yeah, I mean, I can wait for it. That's fine.
I think system is down. It's trying right now 2 hours already. So I don't know how long does it take, sir.
So you don't have the order for Razan
No,
ready?
at the moment. System is down, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, do you want to tell the customer that it's, I mean, what do you want me to do?
No, just tell the customer so they can refund the money, sir. I have no option at the moment. I'm trying to fix it. That's why I don't have a. So please tell the customer, sir.
All right, thank you.
I'm sorry about that, sir.
Okay.
This is the time in which the defendant has been incarcerated pending trial. He can't follow the rules and not be threatening in the jail. There is no conditions this court can impose on the defendant if he is released. Specifically, I want to draw the court's attention to subsection 4, major violation number 24. Unacceptable behavior dated 4/5/24. The defendant made threatening remarks to staff. The defendant specifically stated to staff, quote, I know your address, Jessica Christie Sales. You know, I'm going to go home after I meet my charge and I'm going to come to your house and make you pay for this harassment and for you assaulting me on May 24th. You're lucky I don't tell everyone your address. This is the same kind of behavior this defendant was exhibiting while he was a member of the society at Liberty. This is the behavior that he's exhibiting while incarcerated when he is supposed to be a general good behavior. Additionally, Your Honor, there is, to the public's knowledge, the defendant and claims that he was beat in the jail on that date.
May 24th, we haven't gotten to that yet.
That's from last year, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes. Additionally, a number of other major violations include him intentionally causing water to come out of his cell and that's from May 24th, which is the day in question in major violation number 24.
Just because you didn't follow rules doesn't mean it's a danger. I mean, assuming what you're saying is him intentionally doing that.
Right, this is just showing that he can't follow directions. Aside from being a danger, he also cannot follow the rules, which is what the court is expecting him to do by releasing him on pretrial supervision pending his homicide. Another thing, Your Honor, he has specifically disobeyed orders such as using the phone when he's not supposed to, using other people's PIN numbers when he's not supposed to. The just indicative of his tendency not to follow the directions. If he's threatening a staff member in the jail while he's pending a double homicide trial, there is absolutely no way this court can absolutely say he will not be a danger to the public and to whoever he encounters is released. Now, coming to family ties, Your Honor, the council touched on this briefly. The 2018 incident in Stafford County with the sheriff's office there involves two of the defendant's brothers, Muhammad Al-Jaziri and Farah Al-Jaziri. Muhammad Al-Jaziri is the individual who testified at the hearing last week. I think it is important for the court to also note that the family ties that are supposed to be a mitigating factor for defendants in bail hearings are the same individuals that were also charged with him as part of the mob that assaulted this Joseph driver. So I think that should actually cut against the defendant regarding his ties to the community. Your Honor, at this time, I would like to replay the dash camera footage. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would call investigator Reese.
Total crashes, well over 200 or 300 total, all crashes, all types.
Types, okay, but what about scenes?
Serious injury, probably 100 to 200, fatalities, most of the primary.
And when you say primary on 35, did you also assist on other similar where you were not primary?
Yes.
How many examples were
In total, probably another still 100, about 50 or so fatalities.
And to be a member of that unit, do you have specialized training?
Yeah, I've got a DoorDash order for Von D.
You have to go through the three
All right, thank you.
main levels of crash destruction, so basic, advanced, and then what's called pre-destruction. So going through each one of those levels of basic training along with other specialized training, such as crash destruction, protection crash destruction, and destruction. And then down for technician handles, that's those features.
And can you please tell the court, as a crash investigator, when you respond out to the scene of the crash, what specific type of evidence are you typically looking for?
So starting from the roadway up, so you got roadway evidence, tire marks, skid marks, any kind of gouging from vehicle parts, the area of impact where the vehicle collided with whatever.
No, sir.
Or is any kind of evidence where the collision occurred that caused any kind of
Shelly, I love you. I love you. I love you. Shelly, I'm out here, man. I'm out here. Okay. Oh yeah. According to Amy Hobson, there's a tree in the backyard. But what she's not realizing is that tree is it's the wrong currency. It's like pesos. There is a tree. And it is a money tree, except it's the wrong currency. You know, Shelly, I'll tell you the funniest thing is that I'm out here door dashing and playing Sarah Sammy's voice, and Sarah Sammy's tuning in. She's like, "This motherfucker has my voice. Is out there door dashing, and he's playing my voice. What the fuck is going on here?" That's funny. Shell, that's funny. Can't wait to, I'll tell you, I can't wait to hold a podcast and play the bond hearing, and then play the body cams and play the videos that show what this prosecutor is lying. Like everything she says is a lie. I've never seen a case where the prosecutor lies so much. I have, you know, having the body cams. I mean, this is really weird for the prosecutor. I mean, I can literally play the proceeding and show body cams after body cams where she's lying, and that's terrifying for them. All right, if only I can find this house. All right, almost there. I'm going in circles here.
Exactly. So I would just like to respond to the whole concept.
You meant, let me get the, yes, sir.
So, again, this is just, obviously we have many objections and issues that we're going to many issues to take. The first issue is, the defendants or the Commonwealth's characterization of the statement of facts, they state the defendant committed a double homicide. No, that has not been determined, and that is a crucial issue because the Commonwealth, time and time again, is coming to this court acting as if the trial is either already happening or we're in sentencing for some other state. That has not been determined yet. Trial is not. That has not been determined why. Correct, exactly. Now, and again, the statement of facts on page 4, the Commonwealth mentions functioning dash cameras offering clarity. And this is an important point because the Commonwealth later in their brief goes on to say that they believe that this was a premeditated murder. This is their theory of the case. It's a premeditated, specific intent murder where there is functioning dash cameras offering clarity. We argued previously, and I'll emphasize again in the court, these were my clients, Mr. Ellis's dash cameras. He put them in his car. They were working because he wanted them to be working. He knew they were there. It's completely inconsistent with the Commonwealth's theory that my client had dash camera in his car that was facing outside and inside, showing the entire interaction he was doing this while intending to premeditate the they have a characterization which they facts about what would happen in the vehicle. We'll talk about entering on common traffic, swerving, basically the common basis characterizations. The common entering into evidence is solving the dash camera. First, I would just object to the common's characterizations. The evidence speaks for itself, so I would just object to the characterizations that with respect to just arguing. What the dash camera shows is it specifically shows my client turning in the left lane and trying to pass a vehicle on his right. By the time he gets to the intersection, he is now in line. The vehicle to his right is blocking him from entering the right lane, and the lane ends, believing that he's ends. And so what does he do? He swerves to the left because at this point that's his only option. And the tragedy has to close. And this dovetails into a point also. The Commonwealth and the they continue to make these arguments and offers as if they are experts. So they go on these statement of facts talking about facial expressions or his tongue is in his cheek. This again, any representation as to what that means out of Crawford, that I may bring an explanation on the testimony. That when an individual puts their tongue in their cheek, it's because they're concerned that they can't resolve that the Commonwealth also states that so I'm still on page 4 here. The Commonwealth says on page 4, in the final 8 seconds, this arrest will take place. They're saying, no, that arrest is there's no fire on this camera. This is merely the Commonwealth looking at the yes, again, they're not offering an expert employees. They're just guessing at this point. They state facts on page 4 that allegedly the defendants pressing his tongue. His characterizations of evidence expressing facial expressions and actions being consistent. But also his driving in that moment being absolutely consistent with somebody who's not a race car driver, he's not a professional car driver. He's just a normal guy driving his car, finding himself in trying to walk in roadways. And those moments came there sometimes. It's 1 second decision to control without any kind of specific example. Page 5 earlier, it's the last one about the facts of correction. We talk about electronic data recorders. Again, this information is completely irrelevant They're not actually focused or concerned about the two factors. They're really just focused on the fact that they get a conviction, and because they get a conviction, you should hold them for it. Otherwise, the way that essentially anything less than failure to show justice for the victims. That's not the issue. The issue is flight. The issue is coming to page 7 finally.
Yeah, Shelly, they flat out lied. They flat out lied about the whole trespassing with Muhammad, and they're terrified. I mean, the whole thing with GDC. I'm gonna pause this real quick. So the whole thing with General District Court the other day, and the judge saying that she doesn't have jurisdiction, she didn't want to hear it. I mean, she didn't even want to hear the case. They're terrified once he puts the evidence on the record. I mean, Sheriff Glenn Hill flat out, and his deputies flat out came up with a situation, falsified a situation, and Muhammad and Mom are not going to be trespassed. That's why they're scared to hear the case out. I mean, they don't even want to hear it. That's how terrified they are. So yeah, they flat out lied, and Muhammad and Mom has the evidence. You know what's really interesting? It just popped in the back of my head. I'm preaching to the choir. You were right there.
page 9. The couple then wants to focus on going back to, not talking about convictions, we're talking about allegations that were eventually, nothing came of it. They bring up a specific quote-unquote victim, Christina, and they talk about how this is evidence that my client is dangerous, etc.
Yes,
She's right here, and she is sitting with the family of my client. And I would probably, Your Honor, I've spoken to her, and she disputes these representations. And while we're on this topic about this issue of proffers that I've just demonstrated, in this very case already, the Commonwealth previously proffered a motion that somebody would come in and testify that my client's brother or family member purchased a weapon. And that stood in that motion for a period of time. So the Commonwealth eventually learned, oh, you know what, that actually turns out not to be accurate. Thankfully, I appreciate the Commonwealth's candor. They corrected that with the court. The problem, though, is that that demonstrates exactly the issues that proffers are these. You have statements and motion, hearsay within hearsay, and then it turns out if the person actually shows it, they'll probably say something different. We've already seen that multiple times in this case. Moving to page 10, Your Honor. Now, starting on page 10, at this point, the Commonwealth begins to just, in a desperate attempt to try to find some connection to the fact that my client is allegedly dangerous, they start focusing on allegations from years ago that didn't result in convictions, had nothing to do even, it didn't have to do necessarily with driving a car, just general allegations of my client's behavior. And they start bringing in police reports. They talk about the defendant was harassing an employee and asked to leave. Again, this is hearsay within hearsay. And it's on issues that didn't result in convictions, have nothing to do with the substance of this case, and they were eventually not prosecuted. Moving to page 11, section D. At this point, the Commonwealth starts wanting to discuss my client's behavior or alleged behavior in the detention center. And I suppose they're arguing this to stay, I believe again, unreasonable danger. Here's some of the facts that they allege. Number one, the defendant intentionally caused water to come out of his cell. Number two, malicious abuse of the inmate's health. This is what we have. This is what the government is clinging to at this point. That somehow my client shouldn't be released to the community, and he's an unreasonable danger because he allegedly intentionally caused water to come out of the cell. These are absolutely, at this point, just desperate tactics to keep its claws into my client, because at the end of the day, they don't want to see somebody that they're charged to be released. Finally, number 3, subsection 3 on page 12. Government starts talking about, again, the weight of the evidence that we talked about previously, much of our argument goes to and they say, well, with such compelling evidence at hand, there is a high likelihood of successful prosecution. In the next paragraph, we use the quote, overwhelming evidence. This is absolutely absurd. First of all, the government continues to focus on this case as if it's a question about whether or not a car accident occurred. This is not a case of where my client is charged with speeding. It's not a case where he's charged with reckless driving. It's not a case where he's charged with causing an accident. This is a case solely about what was in my client's mind. It's not about what happened at the accident. It's about what was in his mind. And the government believes that it has compelling evidence and overwhelming evidence that they know what was going on in my client's mind. Why? Because he was in a car accident, and because a few minutes before the accident, it looked like he was having an incredibly minor disagreement, like we talked about previously whenever I offered the court an argument previously. If getting into an argument and then having a car accident after the argument that you saw, Your Honor, that exhibit, if that was overwhelming and compelling evidence of murder, then half of the car accidents in this country, you would have overwhelming and compelling evidence of murder, because those kind of minor disagreements between people in a relationship, you look to your left, you look to your right at the stoplight, you're bound to see it. at any driving seat. It's an absurd argument. Subsection 4 on page 12, they talk about obstructing justice. So finally, they stop their sole focus on the evidence, and they focus on obstruction of justice. We already heard at the last hearing, Your Honor, the length the Commonwealth will go to try to demonstrate obstruction of justice. They argue that my client, my client would obstruct justice because his family member, not even him, but his family member touched a prosecutor. That is the kind of arguments that they're again making here. It's completely outrageous, tenuous arguments. And essentially what they argue is that the fact that my client has love from his family, a connection with his family, a family that will support him, and a family that he stays in touch with, that's evidence that he's going to obstruct justice. And they try to argue the fact that he has strong family ties, which almost always is positive proof that he is not likely to scholar, he's not the major. They argue nonsensically and in completely fashion. Yeah, this is evidence that he'll obstruct justice, and this is evidence that he might take off. It's laughable. They say, defendants, quote, defendants' ongoing communication with various family members from jail raises red flags. What are we talking about? An inmate can't have ongoing communications with family members without raising red flags? This is America. He can talk to his family. But that's where we're at in this case, and that's the length the Commonwealth will go to try to demonstrate obstruction of justice. At the end, Your Honor, we reach page 14. They basically offer in conclusion 5 allegations. They say it's history of violence, nature and circumstances of the offense, strength of the case, likelihood of obstruction, and family ties. Your Honor, none of these conclusions, when you actually dive into their examiner, provide any support at all to what they're doing.
Brake detected.
Yes, sir. To start off, we were here last Friday. Court did a detailed review of the factors in 1914. Just to point out, there are a number of factors that are essentially on Donald's side of this case. Specifically, I'll start off with the first one, the nature and circumstances of this case. This is a charged double homicide. This is not a reckless driving case. It's not charged as reckless driving. It's not a manslaughter case. In fact, Commonwealth actually no-crossed the manslaughter charges in lower court and indicted on higher charges of murder, because that is what the government's theory on what the show. The nature of the circumstances should weigh heavily. These are 2 homicide charges. This is no different from homicide charges where you have an individual shooting and killing 2 people. That is the government's theory, and that is what the Commonwealth will stand by. Now, the weight of the evidence, there is a number of factors, Your Honor, including crash scene evidence, and I have a witness that I would like to have testify in regards to that crash scene evidence, an investigator with the crash unit. The weight of the evidence, crash scene.
If you want to testify, it's up to you, it's your case.
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to proffer and argue and then have it testify. Now,
Is he in the courtroom?
yes, sir.
I'm going to ask him to step out. Or we'll just
it corroborates the government or the Commonwealth's theory of what happened in this case. The defendant intentionally steered his vehicle to use it as a weapon to kill these two people, individuals in the vehicle. Now, counsel points out that the defendant has no record of convictions, and I believe the court.
What a liar. What a liar. She said the witnesses on the scene does not say that they were passing, that Mustafa was passing a vehicle. What did Elizabeth Lee say? Elizabeth Lee says it looks like he's passing the vehicle in front of him. And then she says, I saw his brake marks. Drum says, that's not his brake marks, even though he took pictures of Mustafa brake marks on the road. And then she says, was he drunk? And then Drum says, well, we're checking some boxes, even though he has Mustafa's toxicology report that Mustafa was not on alcohol and was not on drugs. Interesting. So he's actively manipulating the witness that's telling him it looked like Mustafa was passing the vehicle in front of him. What did Sarah Sammy just say? She says the witnesses did not say, none of the witnesses say that he looked like he was passing the vehicle in front of him. Elizabeth Lee, thank you for being there. What did the other witness say? I heard brake marks. Let's see. We're gonna hear. Let's listen to Elizabeth Lee. You know, it's so beautiful to have these body cams that you don't have to take my word for it. Just go watch the body cams. Listen to what the prosecutor is saying and listen to the body cams.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Sarah, I've got your body cams. Where is the body cam? Okay, but you know, there is a body cam, okay? But we can, there's another one. I think it's on YouTube. I lost the other account that has all of it on it. I have to update this one with the body cam. I thought I had Elizabeth Lee on here. How could I not have Elizabeth Lee? If the wife of the investigator, Kate Claiborne, has it on her page and I don't have it, this is a problem. Okay, why don't we just look Kate? Why don't we just look up Kate 0707? She has it. Kate, thank you for putting my body cam on your page. I can actually look this up. Oh, look, she has my body cam.
You cannot continue to blame.
You observed what had happened on the day of the collision, and I'm calling to.
It was awful.
It was
Go
awful.
ahead from beginning to end, like you're telling me a story.
Okay, give me just a second. I'm a nurse, and I am putting up orders for a patient.
Oh, do your thing.
Listen, lady, it sounds like you've talked to Drum before.
Then I will go find a
This is not your
quiet
first
room where I
conversation with Drum. That's exactly what it sounds like. Wait, let's see. Alright, there we go.
I know I'm gonna be so.
Let's look her up. Okay, here we go.
Can you push the total on her? I was approximately 2 cars behind the Chrysler. I know I'm gonna be. And we were going down 234, and it looked to me like he got in the left turn lane.
It looks.
Of course, there's no road there, but there is a left turn lane, probably for people to make U-turns. And he sped up really fast. I could see rocks and debris flying, and it looked like he was trying to pass the white.
Oh my God.
In front of him.
It looks like What did she just say? It looks like he's trying to pass that car that's in front of him. What did Sarah Sammy just say? She says no one on the scene says that it looks like he was passing the car in front of him. What a liar. Lady.
That's crazy. You can pass somebody.
Well, that's crazy. You can't pass someone in a turn the lane. Make turn the lane.
Two cars behind the Chrysler.
Jesus Christ.
And we were going down 234, and it looked to me like he got in the left turn lane. Of course, there's no road there, but there is a left turn lane, probably for people to make U-turns. And he sped up really fast. I could see rocks and debris flying, and it looked like he was trying to pass the white car that was in front of him.
Okay.
So I thought, well, that's crazy. You can't pass somebody in a turn lane. And there was a sign at the end of that turn lane, and I thought he's going to go head-on collision with the sign. But just before he hit the sign, he crossed over into...
That is a lie. That he crossed over to the other side. First of all, when you watch the dash camera, Mustafa's steering wheel, the prosecutor likes to say that he crossed over into oncoming traffic. That is not true. When you watch the dash camera, the steering wheel he keeps going straight. He ends up in oncoming traffic. The lane ends. There is no brake. He hits the brake. There is no brake. The vehicle doesn't stop. He can't go back into traffic. There's a vehicle on his right. There's a sign right in front of him. Yeah. So he ends up in oncoming traffic. He's not turning the wheel into oncoming traffic. No. The wheel stays straight. Once he's in oncoming traffic, this vehicle doesn't stop. He can't get back. What does he do? You don't have to take my word for it. Go watch the dash camera. What does he do? He passes. He avoids every vehicle that's in his way. What do you want him to do? Did he do everything he can to avoid a vehicle accident? Yes. It was his foot. Does the computer show that his foot was on the brake the whole entire time? Yes. That's what the computer shows. The police mechanic inspected the vehicle. He said 2 of the calipers did not work. There's brake failure. Was there some brake? Yeah. That's why he managed to get the vehicle from 55 to 35, but it wouldn't stop. Is there skid marks right there? Yes. From the calipers that actually worked. And who took pictures of the skid marks? Drum himself. It's in the discovery. But what did they do? Chad Mason got on the stand and he lied and said there are no skid marks. As a matter of fact, Robert Drum is going to tell this witness who's telling him, I saw Mustafa's brake marks. There are no brake marks. That's what he tells her. And when she says, was Mustafa drunk? He tells her, we're still checking off some boxes. What do you mean? You're insinuating that, yes, he is on alcohol, he is on drugs. That's what you're telling the witness. You're manipulating this witness, even though you have Mustafa's toxicology report that it says no alcohol and no drugs. What are you doing, Drum? Did you think that these body cams wasn't going to come out? Yeah. You know that you've got a Commonwealth attorney that's going to seal off the body cams. But I've got sticky fingers. And I reached into the prosecutor's purse. And we got body cams. Sticky fingers. Well, actually, what really happened is you've got a leak in your police department. That your buddy police officer, a certain individual, gave me those body cams. From one sticky finger to another sticky finger. Some people don't agree with the bullshit that you do behind closed doors, sir. And we're gonna get to the bottom of it.
the left-hand turn lane of oncoming traffic. And there was no one there, thankfully. And then, out of absolutely nowhere, the car just, it was like he made a left turn into oncoming traffic.
Okay.
And there was a white car in the left lane, and it barely missed him. It was able to pass without hitting him, but then the black SUV, they never saw it coming. There was nothing.
Are we talking about the black SUV that Drum says she turned into him? Oh, are we talking about that SUV? That SUV that the paramedic says she's a PLS patient. It's a condition that you have weak motor function, upper, lower. Oh, wait a minute. What kind of medication is she on? Oh, heavy medication. The computer inside her vehicle says she never hit the brake. Oh, she was speeding. Drum says she turned into him. He cleared all the vehicles all the way to the other side, avoided every vehicle, and she turned into him. Beautiful, 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 beautiful.
Prevented that accident.
Okay. So after the crash occurred, what happened?
After the crash, what happened?
I kept driving home. I mean, I saw, I could not turn around at that point. But I saw the whole front end of the SUV get smashed up, and then the black sedan spun around and over onto the sidewalk. And that's about as far as I saw, because since I was, only 2 cars behind him, I passed them almost immediately after the crash occurred.
Gotcha. When you were behind the Chrysler, do you remember where you first, I'm going to use this terminology, pick up, do you remember when you first picked up that car, as in you remember seeing it?
I don't. The first time I remember really seeing it was when it pulled into that left turn lane and sped up like it was going to pass the car in front of them.
Okay, but did anything stick
Wait,
out?
did she just say that again? When it looked like he was passing the car in front of him. Okay.
Prior to that,
No.
with any cars?
No.
Okay. All right. You're a nurse? Where do you work?
I work in a neurology office. I'm an infusion nurse.
He acts like you've never talked to a nurse before.
Oh, God bless you for doing that. Okay. I'm sure you're aware that the mom and daughter have died.
I am.
Oh, she is. She is. So she already knows about the situation. It sounds like they've talked before.
It shook me up really.
Why isn't those conversations recorded?
I prayed he was alone.
So we are actively investigating him. So
Actively investigating him. Not the vehicle accident. Actively investigating him. Oh, this is the same investigator that says, whatever the fuck that guy goes, I want you to follow him. Oh, make sure your camera is off for all of it. They're telling each other. Oh, knowing him, it's probably drug related. Even though his toxicology show, no alcohol, no drugs. Oh, we've been watching Mustafa. Interesting. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's the guy that's suing us for over $500,000. Oh, that guy? We got to make sure to actively investigate him. Beautiful. Interesting. 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 Interesting.
Yeah, and that's my thing is, what made him do that? Was he drunk? Was he on drugs?
we're checking some boxes.
Was he drunk? Was he on drugs? We're checking some boxes. You have his toxicology report. You know he's not on alcohol, and you know he's not on drugs. So why would you manipulate the witness to make her think that he's on drugs and alcohol? Why? Oh, you want to steer her in a certain direction to have a negative testimony on Mustafa. Interesting, Robert Drum. Interesting investigative work, sir.
We're said, it's unfortunate that, you know, my wife, God love her, she's a dispatcher. She comes home, she watches Live PD and these cop shows, and
Oh, your wife. Oh, your wife. God bless her. She loves CSI shows. She's a dispatcher. Used to be a dispatcher, by the way. God bless her. She loves a lot of CSI shows. Get her a goddamn Netflix account. I mean, let her subscribe to Netflix. And instead of getting her on an active investigation, putting her on three-way, there's a body cam where she's on three-way with him, while he's talking to an individual that's pretending to be a witness. Oh, wait a minute. The wife of the investigator and that individual that's pretending to be a witness is actively on the internet using Prince William County resources, trolling the Mustafa Al-Jazari case. Interesting. Beautiful police misconduct, sir. Beautiful. Just outstanding investigative work. God bless her. She loves a lot of CSI shows. So what does he do to keep his relationship alive? He brings her on board. Mind you, she's not a police officer. She does not work for the police department. To keep his relationship alive, he brings her on board. Beautiful. Interesting. I can only imagine the conversation now. Drum, what do I have to do to keep you from getting fired with this police department? The brother has all the body cams. The brother has your voice, your audio recording where you falsified the police report. The brother has all the documents. There's nothing I can do to save your career. I want a divorce. Get me out of this nightmare. There's nothing I can do for you, Drum. And she's filing for a divorce. I can only imagine the conversations. Kate probably put on a little bit more weight. Ma'am, you're fat and ugly. We've seen your pictures. I know you like to pretend that you're this skinny blonde girl on TikTok, downloading pictures and putting it on your fake profile, pretending to be Kate0707. Ma'am, there is nothing skinny or beautiful about you. You are ugly and fat. We've seen your pictures. Pulled up your profile. I have a file on you. You are not beautiful. You are fat and ugly. No wonder Drum is flirting with Elizabeth Lee. I mean, did you see the way he talks to her? He's like, oh, you're a nurse? Oh, God bless you. That's beautiful. I mean, let's continue listening to this bullshit.
Not an emergency. I'm not an emergency nurse. I see patients that need life-saving medication, but they get it once a month and they're all pretty healthy. Except for the disease they're getting the medicine for.
Yeah, I wish this stuff could work faster, but, you know, paperwork's paperwork, and...
Oh, you want it to work faster?
We've got the judicial system to work through, and sometimes it just takes a little while, and we said we're on the side of making sure our ducks are in a row
We're on the side of getting our ducks in a row before we pull the trigger. I wish this would be a little bit faster. We're investigating him. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and falsify his statements for things to work a little bit faster. Listen.
No, we pull that trigger, so...
Oh, you want to pull the trigger?
But it was somebody in my neighborhood, because I live just up the road in Ashland. From where the accident happened, and somebody in my neighborhood...
Someone in your neighborhood called you and asked you to be a witness.
Absolutely. I appreciate you.
What the fuck did you just say? Someone in your neighborhood called you and asked you to be a witness? What the fuck are we talking about? Oh, you've had previous conversation. I mean, it really doesn't sound like Drum is talking to her for the first time. Where are the other body cams? Interesting.
It was, it was absolutely horrifying to watch.
Okay. Well, there's gonna be some stuff.
Thank you for your visit. He turned right directly into the.
Yeah, I've got a DoorDash order.
Yeah, we're figuring that out.
Thank you.
So we'll reach out to you if something comes about.
Yeah, you have my number, and I'd be happy to go to the scene and show you exactly, what happened. I see there are skid marks on the road, so I assume he.
I see there's. Hi. It is Charles W. Thank you. I see there are skid marks on the road. Did she just say there are skid marks? Oh, what is he gonna tell her? I promise you, I'm not a crazy person. I said, I promise you, I'm not a crazy person. I've got a YouTube channel. Follow me on YouTube under Not Another Boring Podcast.
Not Another Boring Podcast?
Yes, yes.
What you talking about on there?
About my little brother, Prince William County. Prince William County falsified his police reports, beat him, abused him inside the jail. He's been in solitary for over 2 years. I've got all their body cams. I've got all their documents that are sealed, and I'm leaking them on the internet.
I think I've seen
Yeah,
the protest outside the courthouse.
that's me. Yeah,
With
they
your
arrested me.
mom too, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. They arrested me right after that. Yeah, I took the sheriff put me in handcuffs. 5 days ago, I took him to court and I beat him in his own house.
I know that's right.
I love you, man. What's your name? What's your name?
Okay.
Kay?
Yes, sir.
Omar.
Got you.
I'll see you.
Nice to meet
Yes,
you.
ma'am. I'll beat the sheriff in his own house, and people know me out here. She's seen me, and it's always beautiful when you have the community that knows what is happening behind closed doors. You don't know who's watching, you don't know who's tracking, and Sheriff Glenhill thinks. You know what the funny part about the whole thing is they really think that just because they've got Julie Carey with NBC4 in their pocket, that no one knows what goes on and what's happening here. Well, I'm here to tell them, people are listening, people are watching, and we're gonna get to the bottom of what goes on in the Mustafa Al-Jazari file.
One of the bikes on.
No, that was from a different vehicle.
Oh, that was from a different vehicle. Did he just say? She tells him. So she tells him there are skid marks. I saw skid marks. I saw brake marks. He tells her that's from a different vehicle. Even though he took pictures of Mustafa brake marks on his camera. And I have those pictures in that file. Oh, Drum. I've got the discovery, sir. Every picture that you took in that file, I have it. Every body cam that you put in the evidence.com, I have it. So, and you can thank your buddy police officer that is not okay with you. Good luck finding out who is supplying me with what. I'll tell you, there's a leak inside the police department. The next time you send an email, the next time you make a phone call, just know that Mustafa Al-Jazari, brother, is listening and is watching and is receiving those communications. Just food for thought, just in case you're wondering, sir. Let's continue listening to this bullshit.
Yeah, you have my number, and I'd be happy to go to the scene and show you exactly, what happened. I see there are skid marks on the road, so I assume he slammed the brakes on.
No, that was from a different vehicle.
Oh, that's from a different vehicle.
Just not driving the way it was supposed to be. So.
Interesting. The Drum.
He did not hit the brakes that I saw. From what I saw, he was speeding up.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well, I will take your information. I have your number and your name. And yes, ma'am. Well, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Amy Hodson. No, Elizabeth Lee. Thank God we have this body cam. Let's go back and listen to what the prosecutor is saying inside the court. What did she say before we were listening to this body cam? Oh, there are no skid marks. No one on the scene says that he looked like he was passing the vehicle in front of him. When Elizabeth Lee is telling Drum that he looked like he was passing the vehicle in front of him 2 times. Why would the prosecutor lie like that? Oh, she's comfortable because the body cams are sealed. That Judge Weimer, who every day we're finding out that he has not been impartial, sealed off the body cam so the prosecutor can lie. All right, let's listen to the audio. Let's continue with the proceeding from inside the court.
Not say it looked like he was trying to pass the standards, including an off-duty officer from the DC Metropolitan Police Department, and other individuals that were on this road during rush hour traffic will state that the vehicle the defendant was driving just all of a sudden started veering into the left and into oncoming traffic. Counsel Roberts speak a lot about what the defendant was intending to do, including that he was trying to pass a vehicle on his right. If the court watches that, which I intend to read at the court, there is no evidence of that. And again, there's the bystanders and the witnesses on the scene will not say it looked like he was trying to pass the car next to him.
What a liar.
The ER data also does not.
What a disgusting liar. How disgusting to just flat out lie.
Theory of what happened in this case. The defendant intentionally steered his vehicle to use it as a weapon.
A prosecutor. A prosecutor flat out lie. You expect a prosecutor to say the truth. Instead, you're just out here lying. We just listened to that body cam where she's flat out lying.
I want to point out to the court under 19-2 magazine, the factors include his record of convictions and the history of the accused. Shall consider that history is everything in his past conduct, and that is exactly why this victim and her children past conduct with different domestic partners and past conduct within the community as well. Specifically, this defendant did not abide by any court orders. In fact, he was out on pretrial bond on a domestic assault and battery and a protective order violation against the individual who's actually in the courtroom today as a supporter when he was charged with the 2 charges in this.
What did she just say? The ex-girlfriend who is a supporter is sitting in court as a supporter? What the fuck are you talking about? The ex-girlfriend is sitting in court. She's been protesting outside the jail, sleeping in the parking lot, and in court is sitting there supporting Mustafa, and she's saying, what exactly? Lady, she's in there against you. Bullshit.
Or no crossed 2 days after. So he was on pretrial good behavior, which he did not abide by. Additionally, there are the police reports that the Commonwealth has provided to the court from Stafford County Sheriff's Office, I think show an extreme and interesting and concerning behavior on behalf of the defendant.
Oh, maybe it's interesting and concerning behavior. Police report that show okay, look the way she says it. Police reports that show interesting and concerning behavior. Yeah, maybe because he's suing the police. So every time the police show up, they write interesting and concerning police reports. Hearsay within hearsay, and they put whatever they want. Oh yeah, because he's suing them. Prosecutor, are you not telling Judge Weimer that he was suing the police for over $500,000? Yeah. let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about how the police was profiling him because he was suing them. Let's not talk about that. Judge Weimer should not hear that portion. Where is this goddamn house? Why do they have to make these houses so complicated? Let's not talk about the lawsuit with the police and how the police were harassing him left and right, and how they went to his girlfriend and filed a protective order on her behalf. Where the girlfriend is like, what the fuck are you doing to my boyfriend?
Specifically, his ability to brandish weapons, specifically the 2020 matter. He's at a car dealership, which he begins to harass employees at that dealership, and he is asked to leave. Now, there was some discussion that he used to be an ex-employee of that dealership. He brandishes a canister of pepper spray, which is a weapon, and then he threatens to use his vehicle as a weapon to strike other vehicles in the lot, which is exactly what he did in the case before the court.
What else to believe? Man, I am so happy that you're out here, sir. I was going in circles. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let me, I think I got
I was like, oh, is that it? But he drove right past me, like, maybe it's not. Then it kept showing.
And I appreciate you. I think I gotta take, hold on a second. Let me just cancel this out. There we go. Here, I'll take a picture of it. There you go, bro. Follow me on YouTube under Not Another Boring Podcast.
Shit, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I said follow me on YouTube under Not Another Boring Podcast.
Okay.
That's for my little brother. They falsified his police report. He's been in solitary for over 2 years. And he's been in solitary confinement for 2 years. They beat him inside the jail, and they falsified every police report. And I've got a YouTube channel. I'm live right now, and I'm putting all the body cams, all the documents on the internet, and I'm exposing the hell out of this county. And he's coming home. Yes, sir.
So he was in solitary confinement for 2 years.
He's been in solitude for over 2 years. Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
My name's Omar.
I appreciate you.
Hey, God bless you, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This community is finding out about True Prosecutor one DoorDash at a time. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that is depressing. One DoorDash at a time. But hey, if that's what we have to do to tell this community about Sarah Sammy, that's what we're gonna do. Thank you. One DoorDash at a time, Sarah Sammy. And I should go home. It's already like 2:30. I'm tired. You know, this DoorDasher had not eaten all day. I'm starving. All right, let's listen to this bullshit. So yeah, you want to tell me? So she's reading off police reports. So it's hearsay within hearsay. So an incident happened, and you want to make me believe that the same guy that I'm watching on a dash camera, that's cleaning the fuck out of his car, that cares so much about his car, says, yeah, I'm gonna run my car into this building. What are you fucking talking about? I mean, when you lie, don't insult my intelligence in the process. What evidence do you have that this actually happened? So you're just gonna flat out lie about everything? So hearsay within hearsay. I cannot wait for jury trial. Are you gonna pull that crap in front of the jury? Because I promise you, they're gonna laugh you out the courts. All right, let's continue listening to this bullshit.
He used his car as a weapon on April 5th, 2023, which resulted in the murder of 2 individuals. Additionally, Your Honor, in regards to the 2018 matter,
It's a car accident. Yes, it's a car accident. No one is denying that no one is denying that a car accident happened. A car accident happened. Lady, what is your evidence? I mean, you're going to hear Judge Weimer get really frustrated at one point. He says, so far you haven't given me any facts. You've been giving me conclusions, your conclusions, but where are the facts? And she's like, Your Honor, the facts are the facts. What are the facts in this case? And then she goes on, and then she lies about the computer inside the car, and she lies about the skid mark, and she lies about the witnesses. What are you doing, lady?
reside at the Stafford County address. Now, another police report that the Commonwealth has obtained from Stafford County.
Oh, another police report.
The sheriff's office was actually dispatched to that location, that residence, for a armed assault and battery. A tow truck driver had intended to repossess a vehicle of one of the defendant's brothers. Now, based on, and this is in the police report as well, according to the tow truck driver, the individuals in this mob, which included 3 people, they are identified to be this defendant and his 2 brothers.
So wait a minute. 2 o'clock in the morning, someone shows up on your property. It's trying to tow a vehicle that you have a title to. It's your vehicle. You tell him to leave. He calls the police on you. They show up at gunpoint, take over the house for 9 hours without a warrant, and then you find out that the guy that is towing your vehicle has a warrant out for his arrest. For what exactly? Oh, he pinned an old lady between his tow truck and her vehicle. That's the same guy that's on our property. Is trying to tow our vehicle. So we end up suing the police. False arrest, false charges, and you took over our house without a warrant. Violation of Mustafa's rights. That's the incident you're talking about? Oh, we got charged with assault by mob on our own property for telling a tow truck driver, you're not taking my vehicle, get the fuck out of here. We get charged with assault by mob. So they ended up dropping the charges because that's a false arrest, false charges. There's a video of the whole incident. And we ended up suing the police. Mustafa ended up suing the police for $500,000. And the harassment will never stop. They start profiling Mustafa. They start harassing Mustafa. And she's referencing that to Judge Weimer. Lady, we have a lawsuit against the police, but you're reading off their police reports? Come on, lady. Like, stop the bullshit.
Were producing tasers, and this
Producing tasers.
is the one who grabbed, assaulted the tow truck driver, and
There's a video of the whole incident.
pulled him, basically pushed him away.
Which one is it? Pulled him or pushed him away? Which one is it?
This pattern of behavior, Your Honor, going from back from 2018, which is the history of this defendant, the court must consider under 192120, going all the way up to present day. The facts that the Commonwealth has proffered within the pleading, what the children will say. These are other
of children that you weaponize against Mustafa.
Children specifically.
Get the best part. There's a Google Nest inside the apartment that shows it's a beautiful relationship. The kids love Mustafa. The girlfriend loves Mustafa. It's a beautiful relationship. It's like days and days of Google Nest inside the apartment. The police get involved. The ex-boyfriend, the kids are left with the ex-boyfriend and the neighbor. And the kids in a forensic interview say, the police are telling us that Mustafa did this on purpose, ran away, left my 5-year-old baby sister, and if he hadn't ran away, they could have saved my sister. When in fact, Mustafa was in a coma, was helicoptered to the hospital. The police lied to the kids. Mustafa never ran away. That's a lie. He was in a coma. He was helicoptered to the hospital. And they're making these kids angry at Mustafa, hate Mustafa, blame Mustafa. This child abuse. A 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 14-year-old, to have a police officer to lie to those kids is a crime. How did I find that out? Because I have the videos from the forensic interviews where the kids are saying that. Now this prosecutor wants to say, oh, the kids are saying this about Mustafa. You've weaponized, the police department weaponized those kids against Mustafa. I have evidence that the kids love Mustafa. It's a beautiful relationship. The kids in a forensic interview say, I loved Mustafa. Mom always told me to love Mustafa. That gives you insight into the relationship between Mustafa and his girlfriend, between Mustafa and the kids. It's a loving relationship. But only when the police told me that he did this on purpose, the police lied. They falsified Mustafa's statements, cut and muted the dash camera, chopped up the vehicle, staged the vehicle. The police, I have evidence that they lied. They falsified the police reports. Only when the police told me that Mustafa did this on purpose, ran away, left my 5-year-old baby sister in the car. They could have saved my sister if Mustafa hadn't ran away. That's a lie. They're weaponizing kids against Mustafa. And I have the videos inside the apartment that show it's a beautiful relationship. I have proof that they weaponized and they tampered and they coached and they made the kids angry and blame Mustafa. That's a 9 and a 10-year-old, a 14-year-old. That's a crime. That's child abuse. The police engaged in child abuse. And I have proof. I have their body cams that I can prove it. And this prosecutor wants to stand in front of the judge and say, Your Honor, I have kids that will testify to how much they hate Mustafa. Well, no shit, Sherlock. No shit. You've weaponized those kids. If I was a 9-year-old and someone is telling me that mom's boyfriend killed, he did it on purpose, he ran away, he left my 5-year-old baby, what do you want the kids to say? Of course they're gonna hate Mustafa. Your police department made the kids hate Mustafa. But I have evidence that before your police department made contact with the kids, those kids loved Mustafa. And that's why you're upset. That's why you're coming after me. You're weaponizing a whole county to attempt to silence me. You're out here in Prince William County, federal court. You've got Prince William County coming after me. You've got federal court coming after me. You've got Warren County coming after me. Why? Ask yourself a question. Why are they coming after the Mustafa Al-Jazari brother? I mean, maybe the brother has something to say. Maybe they're terrified. Maybe the brother has evidence that they've lied about Mustafa. Well, you don't have to take my word for it. And like I tell you every time I go on the internet and talk, the prosecutor tell you that you should take her words for it. She's not going to give you the body cams. She's not going to release to you the documents in the discovery. She's not going to release to you the dash camera. She's going to seal everything off from you. And she's going to tell you, because she's a Commonwealth attorney, you should take her word for it that Mustafa did this intentionally. That this is on purpose, and you should just take her word for it. Well, I'm here to tell you that you don't have to take my word for it. I'll give you the body cam. I'll give you the dash camera. I'll give you the documents. I'll even give you the voice of the prosecutor and what she says in court. And you tell me, you don't have to take my word for it. You tell me if they're not lying and falsifying everything in this case and are turning a vehicle accident into a murder. I'm going to end this live. I just got home. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I've been grinding, door dashing all fucking day. Keep me in your prayers. Keep my brother Mustafa in your prayers. Keep my family in your prayers. Keep this community in your prayers. What they're doing behind closed doors is absolutely not acceptable. And every day the media doesn't want to report on it, so we're gonna report on it ourselves. I've got a YouTube channel. I've got a podcast. I go on here. Unfortunately, I would love to be in my suit and be on a podcast and talk about the details. But unfortunately, they stole our money. Now I've got a DoorDash, so I can put money in my brother. And when I say stole money, they sent us a lawyer that I have evidence is working with them. I've got the body cams where he's conspiring against my brother on a body cam, on a police body cam, with the investigator that falsified the police report. Took all of our money, Casey Stephen. And now I have to DoorDash so I can catch up and put money on my brother's cell phone, my brother's phone, so I can call mom. I got to put DoorDash so I can put money on his commissary. And we're playing this catch up. And this is what they do to families here in this community. They send you lawyers that will take all your money, do whatever they want behind closed doors, and they want you at their mercy. Well, not this family. Even if I have to DoorDash and tell every DoorDash person what's going on with my brother. I've got posters that says my brother's story, falsified police report, abuse inside the jail, my brother's picture on my truck, and I've got a giant truck. You can't miss me. You cannot dismiss this truck. It's a giant truck. It's a beautiful giant truck. And if Julie Carey doesn't want to report on it, I'm out here talking about it. And one DoorDash person at a time. We're going to continue. This is an ongoing fight. I want to remind everybody, I want to remind this community, Mustafa has a legal fund. It's a Cash App that you can donate into Mustafa's legal fund through Cash App. It's a $, and then you can type Mustafa, Mustafa, legal fund. So it's just simple Cash App, Mustafa Legal Fund. You can find us on YouTube under Not Another Boring Podcast. Usually I'm in a suit. I'm talking about the case. I have body cams and documents, but you'll probably see a mix of this and that. We'll see how it goes. You can find us on TikTok under Not Another Boring Podcast. You can find me on Facebook, Facebook and Instagram under Not Another Boring Podcast. Now, the beautiful thing about Facebook, if you follow me, I'll add you into a group chat. And when we do podcast, I'll have you on the chat. And you can be part of the conversation. On that note, I want to specifically thank Farah. Farah, I love you, ma'am. You have no idea how you donating into the legal fund helps. Pray for you. Thank you every day. Thank you for being there. I want to thank Shelly. Shelly, you do a lot, man. You do a lot behind closed doors. I don't want to go into the details of what you do. That's between you and me. I love you, ma'am. You have no idea how much I pray for you. This community is lucky to have you in it. It's safe because of individuals like you. I want to thank Bustos. Bustos, that beautiful woman that's upgrading our equipment. I can't wait to get the equipment. We're gonna get sophisticated equipment where you're gonna hear my voice amplified, and it's a podcast is voice. It's the mics that you have, and those mics are being upgraded, so I'm excited. I'm really happy. And I want to thank everybody else. I want to thank Casey. I want to thank Char. I want to thank Becky. I want to thank Tracy. I want to thank everybody. And if I forgot someone, Dre. I want to thank Dre. Dre, thank you there, brother. Dawn. I want to thank Dawn. She does a lot. Who am I forgetting here? If I'm forgetting someone. Exactly. Dawn, she does a lot behind closed doors. Johnny. Thank Johnny for being there. I feel like I'm forgetting something. That's okay. That's what I wanted to talk about. I want everybody to reach out to Stefana. She was in the hospital. Please reach out to Stefana. Shirley. How could we forget about Shirley? I want everybody to reach out to Stefana. Make sure she's okay. Stefana is in the hospital. She's dealing with dialysis. Keep her in your prayers. On that note, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, and we'll see. You'll probably see me door dashing and talking, or you'll probably see me on a podcast. We'll see. Depends on the situation, if that makes any kind of sense. I love you guys. I love everybody. Keep us in your prayers. Love you guys. Michelle, Terry, of course. Can't forget about Michelle and Terry. I love everybody. And if I forgot your name, just know I've been door dashing all day, so I'm really tired. Before I end the podcast, I want to thank a police officer from today. The nicest police officer you can ever run into. He cut me a break. He pulled me over. He said I ran a stop sign. Mind you, I didn't eat all day. I'm tired. I'm getting the handle of this DoorDash. You know, I'm pretty new to this whole thing. But I'll tell you, there's a lot of good police officers. And I always, when we talk about what's happening, this is not a reflection of every police officer. There's a lot of, the majority of police, they protect this community. They're here for this community. And what he did was beautiful, because he gave me a warning. He could have given me a ticket. And he gave me a warning. He was nice. He was nice to me. And this community is lucky to have that police officer. And not just because he gave me a warning. No. Regardless whether he gave me a ticket or a warning, he was a really nice police officer. When he pulled up to the vehicle, he was asking me about my brother. And I mean, that was beautiful. You know, sometimes just asking you about what you're going through goes a long fucking way. On that note, I love everybody. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Shelly, you said something. Shelly, I love you, ma'am. Thank you for being there. On that note, this is not another boring podcast. Mustafa through the police body cam. Judge Carol Weimer under the microscope. I love everybody, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.